In an NHL stream chat room, clearly better than all us peasants. I don't speak slang, jargon, or American English. I have standards. Oh, then what are you speaking then? I could understand it. If they heard someone say ATM machine, their head would explode. I automatically assume that people who say tuna fish are idiots. A startling number of people say things like, I'm in the mood for a tuna fish sandwich, despite the fact that they would never say chicken bird is one of my favorite foods, or I think 80-20 is the best percentage for ground beef mammal. The inconsistency in their manner of speaking is entirely illogical, and the fact that they've never reflected on this enough to recognize it and correct it leads me to assume that they're idiots. Low IQs simply fail to understand how the world works. Their jobs are easily replaceable, which makes them more expendable for the government. Most of the prison burden is concentrated in the lower IQ segment of the population due to their inability to appreciate the long-term consequences of their actions. They have far fewer abilities and skills that can be usefully contributed to the community. They simply lack the cognitive ability to be responsible citizens, and I'm very, very glad that I'm not one of them. They are just like livestock, but without the ROI in great parasites. r/IAmVerySmart. Writing nonsensical equations in a public setting to humble brag. Snapchat memories reminding me of what nerd I am. Throwback to when I'd bring my homework with me to the gym and my clients thought it was our workout for the day. Okay, so you're like Einstein or something? Good for you. To the girl who called me a loser and said I was trying to show off because I said you shouldn't read Tolstoy's epic War and Peace, I wasn't aware that reading something was suddenly a huge achievement. The fact that I wanted you to read it meant I believed you were the rare type of woman who could endure such a lengthy piece of literature. The irony is that later in another thread I saw you talking about how you read all the Harry Potter books before you turned 12. It's plainly obvious to see that you view the arts in the most superficial way possible. There's no way I would ever date someone like that. To all the other girls who haven't responded or been a bit timid in their replies, please don't take this post the wrong way. As you can see, I didn't tag any of the women who wronged me on this post, and I will always respect your decision no matter how misguided it may be. As you can tell, my interests are mainly in the high arts, and I can guarantee you that at the very least you will end up having a very compatible and knowledgeable friend. Yeah. Women can't logic, according to this guy. At least that's what I got from this word salad. Questioning a man's logic and credibility is a way a woman essentially brings a man down to her level of absurdity. There comes a line of questioning so invasive, so interrogative, and so unreasonable that a man, feeling like he is on the defense, will yield his logic to his sense of frustration, and then the woman who deliberately and calculatingly imposed this form of mental tyranny in her sense of outrage will then use this frustration as a weapon against the man to further reduce his credibility by pointing out quite proudly that he is in fact no more logical than she. Women will hold you to your logic as it forces you to take responsibilities for things they do not wish to, but they are bound by no such logic themselves. Yeah, that was a absolute word salad jumble. I just made that term up. Jumble. Feel free to use that. We're moving on. Magnus always looks like he is very lost. Nah, he's just observing. I don't know why, but I think smart people always looks like that. My IQ is 200 and I'm not looks like that though. I am too smart to date. I've been told a few times that I'm too intelligent to date, some qualifying it as scary intelligent. I don't know about that, myself, but I'm not about to date anyone scared of intelligent women, so 100% of those situations worked out perfectly for me. What's your flex? Let's share. Why are people not attracted to you? Please flex. Oh, okay, that's the image that was attached to the book. Yeah, okay, this guy is, he's funny. I don't know. If I wanted to feel better about my 164 IQ, multiple degrees earned by age 16, presidential awards of academic excellence, 3 college grants, perfect GED scores paid for by the Army due to my 88 ASVABS, consisting of 121, 122, and 123, and all line scores from medicine to engineering, work as an engineer programmer, therapist, math teacher, enrollment in C-mites in 4th grade, ACT scores eligible for Harvard also in 4th grade, or maybe the 23-page studied for my brain I've been taking every 6 months for ages do plenty to cheer me up. What about you? Have all your achievements combined outshone one self-educated guy who was homeless until age 19 in just a single field? If you're twice as smart as average, then no, they never will. Go seek approval from a valley girl, you'll find none here. What is this in response to? What prompts someone to just suddenly pull shit out of their ass and be like, I'm gonna make everyone think I'm the smartest motherfucker around? It's like, no. You just look dumb as hell. The author is gonna utterly demolish us, or probably not, we're too stupid. When strangers thought I was stupid because of where I grew up, I understood that they were granting me the high ground. I learned to patiently wait in ambush for the chance to utterly demolish them intellectually. Later, I realized that this particular battle strategy was a waste of energy. It was easier to simply stop talking to that person forever. Asked if anyone was a forensics nerd. I am a forensic science nerd, but importantly distinct from being a forensic scientist. That distinction established and reiterating that I'm no expert, my feverish nerdery on this subject has led me to the conclusion that most forensic sciences don't stand up to scrutiny based on legit scientific standards. Okay. Intellectual explains why being rude back to him is bad. No, seriously. Now, I understand not everyone agrees with some of my positions, and that's fine. I feel they promote discussion and encourage people to get their thoughts and opinions in order so they can convey their message. I know I sometimes hit a nerve, maybe where those teeth are missing, if I include a dollop of sarcasm or a soup con of irony, and perhaps I should learn to be more circumspect. But it's all good. A problem arises when some revert to the vernacular and employ more colorful give me a second. Colloquialisms? Colloquialisms? I don't know. To disparage me and my ancestry. Not to mention some condemnation of my supposed sexual, Jesus Christ, proclivities? I never see these words. Cut me a break, guys. What these purveyors of the profane don't seem to understand is a stream of invective doesn't bolster an argument. It debases it. Those expletives only highlight one's inability to communicate, and okay, we get it. You know big words. Without context is silly dilly. So please, before you lapse into the lingua franca that so comforts you, please consider words can be harmful, especially misspelled ones, and I'm a fragile soul, delicate and intellectual constitution, so maybe don't break my balls? You know, the funniest part about reading all that is I have no idea what the f*** he was trying to say. You're right, I don't get the joke. It's not even funny. Explain the joke to me like I'm 5, because to me it's just like some kind of painful to watch psychological situation whereby someone with less emotional intelligence attempts to ridicule or belittle someone's more intelligent achievements to make themselves feel better. You fool. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. Nope, I'd rather tattle and post on Reddit. Tattle? Are you 7? I'll be 13 in a few months, and my grammar is better than yours. Right. Dude uses hydrostatic equilibrium to remember miles versus kilometers. The way I remember the kilometer is shorter is by remembering 250 miles is about the size of the smallest object in our solar system with hydrostatic equilibrium. This is about 400 kilometers. It's really a very simple way to remember. I can see this makes some people laugh, but I've read so many astronomy books over the years and never go to countries that use the kilometer. It works for me. Me explaining to my neurotypical friends that the experience of deja vu may be indicative of the circularity of time and the incomprehensibility of temporal phenomena, and that the experience is often sidelined because the rupture in our cognition is too terrifying to bear. The personal subjective narrative is fragmented so violently that we resist its mystery. Reading all this makes me feel like the Rockwell retroencabulator guy. What does that even mean? You have expressed a desire for me to demonstrate your incompetence in matters of the past. With my simple question, I demonstrate your incompetence. Can you tell, please, on what particular day does your calendar begin? What exactly event happened on the first day of your calendar? Please continue to show your incomprehension for a clear demonstration of your not only incompetence in matters of history, but also simply written in text in English. This should be good for a laugh. You can also give a direct answer to my simple question about the starting point of your calendar, if you know the answer. You can also admit your incompetence in the matter, explicitly admit that you have no idea about basic of past and history, and then I can tell you with which event your era begins. Oh my god, Lamau. Yeah, it was good for a laugh. They were right. His response, or post, I don't know. OP's comment on his own photo submission of a personalized license plate. Oh, the decadence and vanity. Oh, the decadence and vanity that some are wont to exhibit. Lo, I have borne witness to a most absurd and perplexing sight, one that surely must raise the eyebrows of even the most frivolous and vain amongst us. Behold, a horseless carriage adorned with a license plate of most wanton and lascivious nature, bearing upon its face an inscription most vulgar and risque. To think that a creature so noble as the horse, whose beauty and grace is a wonder to behold, should be so debased and degraded by the likes of human vanity. Surely this vanity plate serves as a testament to the moral and intellectual decay of our society, where the pursuit of material pleasures and carnal desires reigns supreme. Alas, that we should stoop to such depths of depravity and moral turpitude, where even our modes of transportation are made to bear the mark of our base desires and indulgences. May the sight of such vanity serve as a sobering reminder of the corrupt and degenerate nature of humanity, and may we strive to rise above the base and vulgar impulses that threaten to engulf us in a mire of moral decay. What excerpt of Shakespeare was this? You just haven't learned enough about music. Jacob Collier mostly appeals to musically talented types that actually understand the theory he's using. No offense to non-musicians, but you just haven't learned enough about music for what he does normally to be as impressive and cool as it is to people who have taken theory or music. It's not a bad thing at all, but it is a thing. Because of that, I would assume that maybe 75% of the crowd plays an instrument somewhat well. That doesn't necessarily translate to vocal skills, but it does help a lot. Kind of sounds like he peaked at 16, though. I studied quantum mechanics when I was 12 years old, proved Fermat's last theorem when I was 16, and developed an engine that violates the second law of thermodynamics. I have an IQ of 185, and I am bothered by that statement. My training in psychology, sociology, and psychiatry informs me that those with an IQ of under 50 are not bothered by the statement. What was the statement? What gets these people so hot and bothered? They just gotta have a little typing fest. I have an IQ of 298. Why do intellectual inferiors think they have a grasp to even talk to me? My IQ isn't even 150, but it's nevertheless sufficient to instantly peg you as an insecure, underachieving wanker who significantly overestimates his own cleverness as an internet troll.